Welcome to the Jolly Roger. My name's Chef Brian, and today we're going to be making chili. But I had a conversation with some friends of mine, and they say chili goes with rice. So today we're going to test that out, and let's get it going. So I'm going to preheat my pan. I kind of already did before I started this. So we're going to drop a little oil. Take our meat, and I have 2 pounds of hamburger meat here. We're gonna break this up, brown it through, and then we will drain it, and then move on to the next step. All right, now that we have our meat going, I'm gonna go ahead and talk about our ingredients. I have a can of 15 ounces of tomato sauce. I have a can of tomatoes with diced chilies. I have some garlic, some seasonings. I had to write this down. I have 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, 1 teaspoon of dried cilantro, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and half a tablespoon of chili powder. I have a teaspoon of seasoned salt and celery salt in here. So that'll be in the description down below as well. I have a diced 1 medium onion. I have some tomato paste. These are really good because a lot of times you're not gonna use a whole tomato paste can. So I like to get these tubes, and that way it's resealable, and then you know the whole thing for that. And last, I have some taco sauce. I have a 1/4 cup of taco sauce, and around here we get the mild, but they do have a hot version if you prefer to do that. So I'm gonna get this done, and we're gonna go ahead and drain it, and I'll bring you back and I'll show you the next step. Okay, so I got you overhead to see. I have a little bit of pink left. I still want pink. We don't want to cook it all the way through because it's going to cook again in the sauce and it's going to steep for a while. So I'm going to go ahead and drain this, and I'll show you what we're going to do next. See you in a second. Okay, so now that our meat is draining, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little bit of oil. I'm going to go ahead and toss in our onion. Our pan is still hot. And then we're gonna saute this until they get translucent. And then we can move on to adding the rest of our chili stuff. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of salt to these onions. It'll help release their liquid. And that was just a pinch. Because we want to get this fond up from the bottom. And so when their juices come out, that will disappear. And if not, I have a little bit of beef stock. I might use a little bit of that to help deglaze the pan. All right, I'm gonna add just a touch of beef stock, about a tablespoon, and that'll help release this bottom here. Next, we're gonna add some tomato paste. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon, and hopefully I have a tablespoon left in this tube. If not, I got another tube. Got another tube. About that much. Like I said, it's about a tablespoon. And then we're gonna kind of caramelize the tomato paste with our onions, and then we can add in our garlic. And I have, I don't know, 7 cloves of garlic to this because we have quite a bit. I think we're gonna deglaze again. So now I'm gonna go ahead and turn down my heat to low. That way we don't burn anything, and I can go ahead and add my garlic because I'm gonna have to use 2 things. 2 presses. Let's see if I can get that all in one press. There we are. Cook that until fragrant. I'm gonna add just a touch more oil to help that garlic out. And as you can see I have more of that caramelization on the bottom there. So what we're gonna do is deglaze some more. Because that's all flavor down there, and that's what we want. We want a flavorful chili. Oh, it's looking a lot nicer. Perfect. So now I'm gonna kill the heat, and I'm gonna start adding in our tomato sauce. The whole can. I'm gonna add in Rotel. Well, I said tomatoes and diced chilies. Go ahead and stir this up. I'm gonna turn my heat back on, but we are gonna go on a low. I can add in all of our seasonings now. And that's gonna go in. And then I'm gonna add in our taco sauce. All of that. And then we can add in our meats and get things all marry well together. So I'm gonna grab the meat and you'll see me dump it in. I don't wanna get fat everywhere. All right, look at here, boom. All right, grabbed our meat. We're just gonna go straight in. And then we'll do a stir. And we're gonna let this simmer with the lid on for the next good 30, 45 minutes. And let these all come together. And I'm gonna go ahead and add in my beef stock. And that was 2 cups of beef stock. And I'm going to go ahead and add in just a little bit more just for evaporation. So I'm gonna go grab another cup of water. All right, I have 1 more cup of water with our stock. And we used a bouillon paste for our beef stock. Now, what we're gonna do is bring this up to a simmer. And once it comes to a simmer, then we will cover it. So I'll see you in a little bit. All right, now we just came up to a simmer. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna turn my heat down to low, and then we're going to go ahead and put on our lid. And we're gonna let this go for, like I said, about 30 to 45 minutes. And then I'll bring you back and we'll start adding 1 more ingredient. Well, no, I take that back. 2 more ingredients for this. And we'll see you in a minute. We got about 15 minutes left on our chili. I'm gonna go ahead and start the rice. This is the easiest way to make rice by far. So I have an Instapot here. It's just a pressure cooker. I have 2 cups of jasmine rice that I've already rinsed to get the extra starch out. And what we're gonna do with this rice is, since we're pairing it with a beef chili, I have some beef stock. Instead of using regular water, this is going to add a little bit more flavor to the rice. And it should pair very well instead of just using regular water. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and salt our rice here. That way it's seasoned when it's done, makes the job a lot easier. That should be enough. And then I'm gonna go ahead and stir, make sure that all the liquid is around every granule. And then we can grab our lid, and I'm gonna go ahead and put this on. Turn it to sealing. We're gonna hit pressure cook, and we're gonna go high on for 3 minutes. And once that 3 minutes timer is done, what we're gonna do is do a natural release for 10 minutes, and then you're gonna get perfect rice every time. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and check our chili, and that's a little warm. I'm gonna go ahead, pull the lid off. And for the next couple of minutes, we're gonna go ahead and let this simmer with the lid off and kind of reduce our flavors together so it's a little bit more impactful. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, my timer is about to go off. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna go ahead and add in our red kidney beans and get those heated through. The reason we add those a little later is more towards the end is because if you get a vigorous boil, they can break apart and then your beans aren't gonna be left whole. I like to have a whole bean. So another thing we're gonna go ahead and add is what's called masa. Masa is it's a finer ground of corn, cornmeal. That's it. And what we're gonna use, I'm gonna mix it with 1 cup of hot water, and I have half a cup here. And what this is gonna help do is it's gonna give it a flavor of like a corn tortilla flavor. Also, it's gonna help thicken up a little bit. It's not gonna thicken like it does like cornstarch, but it will thicken up a little bit to give it a little bit more hearty texture and flavor. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add this in. Just like that, and that's my timer. So I'm gonna bump the heat just a little bit on this. We're gonna go to a medium, and we're gonna bring these beans up to the right temperature. And then we're still waiting on the rice. The rice did finish for the 3-minute timer. Now we are counting up to 10. And once we get to 10, our rice is done, and we'll be eating here very shortly. All right, so the rice has come up. We're past the 10-minute mark, so I'm gonna go ahead and release the pressure. And it's not gonna be a whole lot of pressure this time. But we haven't put in regular salt into this chili except for that little bit that I did with the onion. So we need to check and make sure that our seasoning is good there. So I'm gonna go ahead and release the pressure. And like I said, it's not that much, but let's go ahead and give it a taste. Okay, that's good. So we do need a little bit more salt. And then I'll stir that and taste it again. But that should have done it. But man, this is so good. I love this chili. It's got so much more flavor with the masa, and then you have your onions, and then you have your tomato paste that we caramelized with the onion. So, one more taste. Spot on. Awesome. All right, now let's look at this rice. Perfect. Ooh. Well, I'm gonna delete that. So, the rice is nice and fluffy. It's perfect. So, we're gonna plate up, take a picture, and do a taste test. All right, there you have it. Chili and rice. Now, I know the chili's good. I haven't tasted the rice yet, so you wanna go?
Yeah.
Okay. We got a little dollop of sour cream on here. Got some Mexican cheese blend.
I've never had chili and rice.
I know, it reminds me of like Ed Touffet.
Or, what's that?
To smother?
Yeah, no, what is the name of that? Red beans and rice.
No, that's a game changer right there. That is so good. Get a little sour cream.
And the beef stock and the rice, so it's not just regular white rice.
Exactly. Well, I hope you enjoyed, and give this a try. And like, comment, share, subscribe, all that YouTube jazz. And we'll see you next week. Take care. Man, this is really good.